In this video, we will talk about the different things we can do in the lab farm to get as many bags as we can. This is something that has been requested and asked about multiple times in the comments. You must have heard about people making 500 plus bags per hour. And so this is what we will explain in this video. And at the end of the video, we will learn the difference between opening the trick-or-treat bags or selling them directly on the trading post and what possible rewards you can get, along with how to handle all the other loot you will get during the lab farm. The first thing you need to understand is that the main source of this farm will be the trick-or-treat bags. You will still get some loot that you can also sell on the trading post for some extra gold, but it will not be anywhere close to the trick-or-treat bags. And those bags drop from killing mobs around the lab. That includes the normal mobs that are all over the place and also the ones that spawn out of the door events. Those mobs will be spread across the entire place, as we said, but the best spot for them and the one that will always give you the most bags will be the central area. This will always have the highest concentration of those mobs at a given time. And so, you want to try and kill those mobs in the inner circle as often as you can while you are running in the lab. And the second best source will be the door events that spawn waves of mobs. After that comes the rest of the mobs that are spread across everywhere else in the lab. The other stuff like the bosses and the veteran doors are not really worth it if you are going for maximum amount of bags. And the last tip will be to take off your trinkets. This will decrease your damage overall, and it will allow everyone to get a chance to tag the mob and get as many bags. If you do those general tips, it will significantly increase the amount of bags everyone will get from the lab farm. But there are also few mistakes we need to avoid. We mentioned that the central area is the best place for you to get those bags. But sometimes the squads will overdo it and they will go there more often than they should. You have to give it enough time for the mobs to respawn in the central area again. The second mistake are related to the doors that spawn waves of mobs. This is also one of the best sources to get your bags, but at the same time, you don't want to open each door one after another. So make sure to space them out instead. So for example, open one mob door and then skip the one after and then open the next one and so on. By doing this, most of the time, you will have at least one mob door ready for you to open in each cycle around the lab. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe and enable the notifications to know when the future guides will be posted. And if you had any request or an idea or suggestion for a guide, just let me know in the comments below. Those are the general tips on how the farm itself should be done. But don't forget that maximizing your magic find and running a proper build will both have a huge effect on the amount of bags you get. Now let's take a look at all the possible loot we can get and learn how to deal with it efficiently. You will get some tier 5 materials, like the large bones and the potent venom. You should convert them in the Mystic Forge into tier 6 materials and hold on to them and sell only when Halloween is over. Same applies for all the tier 6 materials you will get. And as for the unidentified gear, you want to open all of them. Salvage all the blue ones with the copper fed, or the basic salvage kit if you don't have it. Salvage all the green ones with the rune crafter kit, or the journeyman if you don't have it. Salvage all the rare ones using the silver fit kit or the master kit if you don't have it. However, before you salvage, just check the price on the trading post. If it is higher than the price of one glob of ectoplasm, then you should sell the item instead. But if it is lower, then you can salvage. Now, let's take a look at the trick-or-treat bags and see whether we should open them or just sell straight on the trading post. What you see on the trading post window here is the Ember Infusion, and this is the most valuable item you can get from the trick-or-treat bags. And this window on the right side here, this contains all the possible loot you will get from the trick-or-treat bags. And they are divided into different sections. We have Common, which is what you will most likely get a lot of the time. Uncommon, which you will still get a lot of, but not as the one above it. And in those two sections, none of those items really are very profitable. They all sell for much less than the trick-or-treat bag itself. When we go down to the rare section, we can start finding a little bit more valuable items. We have some unique skins, some unique recipes, tier 6 materials, and some valuable items like the charged quartz crystal, for example. And you will also find some minis that for the most part sell more than the trick-or-treat bag itself. And of course, in the super rare section is where we have all our valuable items. We have the Ember Infusion, which sells for more than 1000 gold. We have other infusions, which sell for more than 100 gold each. And you have some gifts that you can use to craft some unique weapons. But of course, the rare items and the super rare items have a very low chance to drop from the trick-or-treat bags. If we go by the average research rate that will be for most of the people, then it is not worth it to open those trick-or-treat bags, and it is more profitable to sell them straight on the trading post. Because although the rare items and the super rare ones are really expensive and they are very profitable, they also have a very low chance to drop. And if your luck is the same as everyone else, you will probably need hundreds of thousands of those bags to get any decent items from them. But at the same time, you can always take the gamble. Maybe you will be very lucky and you will get those super rare items in the first 10 bags or something. It is simply a gamble. And for the record, Magic Find does not affect opening those bags. At the same time, there's also another argument. What are you going to lose if you opened the trick-or-treat bags? And the answer is simply around half of the profit. If you open the trick-or-treat bags, the average profit you will get per bag will be around 2 silver to 3 silver. Another thing to keep in mind will be the candy corn you will get a lot of when you open the trick-or-treat bags. You can then convert it into a candy corn cup, which you can use to buy a lot of unique items available from the candy corn vendors in Lion's Arch. This will include things like a 20 slot bag, some unique minis, and a candy corn node that will spawn at your home instance. I hope this made it very clear, and I hope this now gives you the answer. Thank you very much for watching.